What's good, guys? Welcome back to All About Arsenal. And today, did Mikel Arteta drop a major hint in regards to what's happening with the whole Viktor Gyökeres saga? So let's get into it. But firstly, before I get into it, I just want to say thank you. I've actually reached 1,000 subscribers and I'm so grateful. I want to say thank you to everyone that subscribed, people that listen to me. I really appreciate it. And just thank you and continue, and let's continue to grow. So if this is your first time to my channel, hit that subscribe and hit that like button, and let's go into the news. So as we know, Arsenal are in Singapore and it's not, well, they've not had the best starts. Apparently the weather out there wasn't too great and actually disrupted their training. But besides that, Mikel Arteta has been talking to the press, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of itching ears because everybody is still asking that question: where is Viktor Gyökeres? So it was a whole interview, but I'm only going to go into the parts that we're really interested in. But he said something very interesting, and that has piqued the interest of a lot of Arsenal fans, and we're wondering, is it about to happen? So what questions were asked? As you can imagine, he's asked an array of questions, and the question we're going to go straight into is about Viktor Gyökeres. So he was asked, how close are you to signing Viktor Gyökeres? And Mikel Arteta says, I cannot comment on any player who's not part of our group yet. Now, the key thing that people are holding on to, clutching onto, is the fact that he said yet. It's a different thing. He said, I cannot comment on a player who's not part of our group or is not part of Arsenal, but he said he's not part of us yet. He's obviously aware of what's going on. And one of the things you have to realize is that once he said this gave a big indication. That word yet meant that it is still going to happen. It's just not transitioned yet. And this is what we believe as Arsenal fans, as we know that Sporting are starting to play a number of mind games. As we know, Fabrizio Romano actually posted and let everybody know that Sporting have been trying to ship Viktor Gyökeres to Manchester United. Apparently they've done this on 2 occasions within this period, which is outrageous. And as we know, Viktor Gyökeres has said, I am not going to go, man. And it's really getting to a point that Sporting are getting really petty. I was supposed to say petty and Sporting, but Sporting are getting really petty. And it's really getting annoying because they are just trying to squeeze as much as they can out of Arsenal. But you have to realize this is just prolonging the whole process. And I believe there's a hint of spite, in my opinion, because yes, Arsenal would have loved him to be on pre-season, and they would have also loved him to model the new away kit, which was what, I think about 2 days ago, I think on a Sunday, there was a posting by Arsenal, something big is coming. And a lot of people are getting excited thinking, listen, there's nothing other big than them announcing Viktor Gyökeres, and it was just the away kit, which is okay. But I'm not really interested in that. I want to see Viktor Gyökeres in that kit. Then I will be excited. So as you can imagine, Arsenal fans are really getting annoyed. But is there light at the end of the tunnel? Probably is, because we understand that Sporting are trying to find a replacement for Viktor Gyökeres, and it seems they have. And he goes by the name of Luis Suarez, not that Luis Suarez as we know. Can you imagine? Oh, that would be a sight to see. So they are closing in on getting a replacement for Viktor Gyökeres, which only means that they're going to have to let Viktor Gyökeres go. I mean, are they going to, or can they afford to still have Viktor Gyökeres on the books, continue to pay out his salary and the salary of a new striker? I don't think so. And let's be honest, this saga is really starting to dampen the mood among Sporting fans as well, because let's be honest, it's really getting on their nerves as well. They want to move on, and they've made it very clear that there's no player that's above the club. However, a lot of people were firing shots at Viktor Gyökeres saying, oh, he's been so unprofessional, how can he be behaving like this? But now, seeing the antics that Sporting are playing, apparently a couple of their add-ons, they're asking for almost the 10 million of add-ons, apparently, is consisting of 2.5 million for when he makes 20 appearances, 40 and 60 appearances, and another 2.5 if Arsenal were to qualify for the Champions League, which is a very high possibility. And it looks like there's contention about this between Arsenal and Sporting. It looks like Sporting are being greedy. But seeing the way Sporting are behaving, and my belief in this gentleman's agreement is growing even more, because we can see how Sporting are behaving. And it looks like Viktor Gyökeres is doing everything in his power to actually push that move to Arsenal, as we know. So this doesn't look good on Sporting as well. And I just recently found out that they are part of the Portuguese Stock Exchange. I'm not sure what it's called, but you can imagine this is bad for business. So my question is, or my point is, how long can Sporting afford to be going through this saga? Because at the end of the day, it is bad for business. But let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, to me, this is just like a classic case of, you know, you've been dumped by an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, and that person just keeps coming back crying with snot bubbles. Just accept it, it's done, just let it go. And they just do not want to let go of this player, and they're trying to squeeze as much as they can out of the deal. But personally, I think this is more about spite. It's because of the way it's happened, and because Viktor Gyökeres has basically said no, and the fact that he has shown himself to be somehow bigger than the club. They are just trying to spite. That's what I believe now. But it's going to get to a point they're going to have to deal, because what happens when it gets towards the end of the transfer window, what's going to happen? They're going to have a player that doesn't want to play with them. They're going to have so much contention and bad blood. It's not going to end well for them. So they will deal, and I believe the deadlock will be broken. There will be a compromise, and something has to give, because this cannot continue. They cannot shift him off to any other club, because he's made it very clear, I do not want to go, man. I only want to go to Arsenal, man. He's made it very, very clear. So I don't know how long they feel that playing this game is going to be beneficial. It's not beneficial to either side. So man, it's getting to the point where you know that, yes, I understand that Arsenal do not want to be pushovers, but this is all ego and bravado. Everybody's ripping off their chest like Superman, and they're trying to show off their chest hairs and show how tough they are. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, it's delay in progress. We should have wrapped this up by last week Sunday. We should be on to Eberechi Eze and close the app. And speaking about Eze, let's go to the next question Mikel Arteta was asked. So they asked him, you have got 4 players through the door, and do you expect more to join you out in Singapore? Mikel Arteta says, Arteta said, there's still a long time in the window. Realistically, is there? We are almost at the end of July. You've got end of August. Is there a long time? Yeah, probably got about 6 weeks left. So yeah, that's a fair time. There's still a long time in the window, and we are seeking still. In terms of numbers, we are short. Wow, we are short in terms of numbers. One of the things that was a major Achilles heel to Arsenal was there was no squad depth. So that's something they definitely need to work on this season. That's one of the reasons why Liverpool, in my opinion, did so well. They were able to rotate players. So if players were tired, if players were appearing in FA Cup or Carabao Cup matches, they were easily able to rotate them, something that Arsenal couldn't do. So Mikel Arteta admits we are short, and we have to improve on the depth and quality of the squad. Some people would say bringing in Madueke was that quality, but you know what? Let the guy land and let him cook, and let's see what he can do. We are constantly looking in the market. Until that happens, focus on the players we have and focus on them, and I'm very pleased with what I have seen in the last 10 to 15 days. You know, this is a very polished answer. It's a very PR styled, structured answer. I'm pleased with what we have. Let's be honest, when it was last season we were struggling, it wasn't like that. His countenance in this interview, if he's watching, he was full of smiles, full of laughter. He looked very relaxed, which is what we want from our manager. But let's be honest, right? If Arsenal plan to make a real good push, and this is make or break season, in my opinion, from Mikel Arteta, it's got to get to a point where they have to get these signings over the line. You have to get the Eze over the line, and you have to possibly get another left winger, definitely in my opinion. But some people are saying if we get Eze, obviously he can play on the left and he can play in central positions. That would be it. If it is, I'll be slightly disappointed. But this would actually work out being the biggest Arsenal transfer in probably the last 20 years. I think not since Arsene Wenger came in, he brought on Vieira, Petit, Overmars, just like that. This would be the biggest thing that Arsenal has done. So boys, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Another news about Xavi Simons. It looks like Arsenal, well, the agent has been offered. The agent has offered Xavi Simons to a number of teams, Arsenal being one. I don't see how this is going to happen. He's already in advanced talks with Chelsea. He's 22 years old, but I don't see how he's going to compete with Cole Palmer. But anyway, this is not a channel about Chelsea, but stick to Arsenal. I think, yes, because Arsenal have been offered, we know their main target, Eberechi Eze. Eze over Simmons any day. Simmons is very, very good. But this will be his first time in the Premiership, and let's see how he does. But let's get Eberici Eze over the line. But let me know what you think in the comments. How soon do Arsenal need to get this done? I know that everybody says, yeah, Arsenal need to get this done super, super soon. But guess what? I'm starting to really side with Arteta and Berta. They shouldn't just push down and back down for the way Sporting are behaving. Sporting are just behaving like that chick that just won't receive the news that it's over. Like, we're done. It's finito. But let me know what you think in the comments. What could Arsenal possibly do to push us over the line? And till the next video, peace.